Everyone talks about the sunshine and rocket launches of the Florida Space Coast. And why not? Sounds like a dream, right? Watching history blast off from your own backyard. But what they aren't talking about is the financial trap that's quietly draining families' budgets. Think of it like being handed a beautiful shiny apple, only to find out it has a worm inside. And that worm is a shocking spike in insurance costs, and it's turning that affordable Florida dream into a potential nightmare. In this video, we're not just scratching the surface. We're going to do the honest math. We'll break down the real cost of living in Brevard County for 2026. We'll weigh the reasonable home sales prices against those soul-crushing hidden fees. And by the end, you know the answer to one critical question. Can you still live comfortably on the Space Coast? Or will these hidden costs wreck your budget? Let's get into it. All right, let's be direct, especially when your savings are on the line. So many people called me excited about a home they saw online, but they're completely blindsided by the true costs. We have to start with the cons. And the biggest one is a financial hurricane that has nothing to do with the weather. Let's not mince words. The homeowner's insurance situation in Florida is a hot mess. It's like a giant sinkhole opened up under the market, and Brevard County is right on the edge of it. You probably heard about the statewide crisis, and I'm telling you, here on the ground, we're seeing the average annual premiums hit staggering numbers. Some reports show the average cost of homeowners insurance, especially in Melbourne, is $5,317 a year. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's over $443 a month just for insurance. The state average is already shockingly high at around $7,136 a year, and Brevard County is feeling every bit of that heat. So, why is this happening? It's a perfect storm. We're on the coast, so hurricane risk is always priced in. But on top of that, years of runaway litigation and soaring construction costs, they've all scared many national insurance carriers out of the state of Florida completely. It's as if all the major grocery chains have left town, leaving you with only one or two very expensive specialty stores just to buy food from. And here's the thing. It gets even trickier. Many people are forced to use Citizens Property Insurance. This is the state-run insurer of last resort. Think of Citizens as the public emergency raft, but now the raft is getting too full, and they're starting to push people off if their homes are considered too risky, especially in coastal spots like Cocoa Beach and Merritt Island. If that happens, you could be pushing to what's called a lender's place policy. This is like falling off of the raft and having your bank rescue you with their private yacht, and then handing you an astronomical bill just for the service. It can cost you 3 to 5 times more than your already high quote. So when you're looking at a home with a mortgage that seems manageable, you absolutely must factor in an extra $400 to $500 a month, or even more sometimes. And this is just for your homeowner's policy. Ignoring this can be the single biggest mistake you can ever make moving here in 2026. The second major financial con is like a hidden riptide. You don't see it from the surface, but it can pull you under. We're seeing a real increase in foreclosure filings in 2026. A big part of this is what some are calling the forbearance cliff. Deferred mortgage payments from the pandemic were like a long paved road, but for many, that road suddenly ended, and they can't make the jump to catch up. We've seen 90-day delinquency rates in Brevard County alone climb significantly, with cities like Palm Bay and Titusville seeing some of the biggest spikes. But here's the catch. It's not just mortgages. The real ticking time bomb is with homeowners associations, particularly in condo buildings. New statewide condo safety laws now require associations to have fully funded financial reserves. Think of this like a mandatory savings account for the building's future for major repairs. This is great for safety, but associations that haven't been saving for years are now forced to play catch up by hitting residents with huge special assessments. You must have a realtor who will dig into the HOA's financials and check their reserve study. Is very important. The days of sticking a sign in the yard and getting 10 offers over asking by Monday, they're over. It's like a frantic game of musical chairs from the last few years and has finally ended. The Brevard County housing market has officially shifted from a frantic seller's market to a more balanced one. So what does that mean for you? First and foremost, inventory is way up. As of late 2025, there are more chairs than there are players. For the first time in years, buyers actually have choices. Second, homes are taking longer to sell. The average property now on the market sits around 47 days before it goes under contract. And for sellers, this is a big con. You can't just name your price anymore. If you overprice, it's like trying to sell a used car for the price of a brand new one. Buyers will just walk past you to the dealership right next door. And you're also up against stiff competition from new construction. Builders in Viera, West Melbourne, and even Palm Bay are throwing out powerful incentives like closing cost credits and mortgage rate buy-downs. Competing with that is like an old movie theater trying to compete with a brand new IMAX offering free popcorn. It's just no competition. For buyers, You might think this is all good news, but here's the warning. The market isn't crashing. It's simply correcting. It's not a free fall. It's a slow, controlled descent. While average home values did dip by about 4.3% over the past year, they are expected to remain relatively flat or grow only by a modest 2 to 5% in 2026. You need to come in with realistic expectations. Finally, let's touch on the smaller cost that feels like 1,000 paper cuts to your wallet. People moving from out of state are often floored by sticker shock. Car insurance is a big one. It's like a secret welcome to Florida tax that nobody ever mentions, with many new residents reporting their premiums nearly doubling. And speaking of that, the initial vehicle registration can be a jolt sometimes, costing over $600 for plates and a new Florida title. And yes, I must add, there is traffic. It's nothing like Orlando or Miami, but key roads like Pineda or O'Galley Causeway act like funnels during rush hour. No matter how wide I-95 is, everyone gets squeezed into these 2-lane bridges, and then suddenly things grind to a halt. It's a con most people don't consider until they're stuck in it every single day. So you have to factor in that commute, especially if you're looking in an affordable area like Palm Bay, but working up north near the Kennedy Space Center. Okay, I know that was a ton of heavy financial stuff. It's the kind of information most people won't tell you up front. But before we get into the many pros, and I promise there are some incredible reasons people are still flocking here, if you're finding this honest breakdown valuable, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking to buy and sell in any one of these areas in Brevard County, feel free to reach out, as the link to book a call is in the description below. No hype, just truth about living on the Space Coast. My goal is to give you the most transparent, no hype truth about moving to the Space Coast, so that way you can make the best decision for you and your family. So treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. So, now that we've aired the dirty laundry, the insurance is expensive, the market is tricky, and hidden costs are lurking. So why on earth are people still moving to Brevard County in droves? Because despite those hurdles, the upside is incredibly compelling, especially in 2026. You remember all those things I said were a con for sellers? Flip that coin over, because it's a massive pro for buyers. For the first time in what feels like a decade, buyers actually have leverage. That musical chair game is now in your favor. There are plenty of empty chairs, and you can take your time picking the most comfortable one. You don't have to settle for a house with a leaky roof or an ancient kitchen just because it's the only thing available. More importantly, you have negotiating power. It's like walking into a negotiation holding all the best cards. In 2026, it is completely reasonable to ask for a seller to help with your closing costs. It's also reasonable to do a thorough inspection and negotiate repairs. I highly recommend that. And here's the thing, sellers know they have competition, and the smart ones are willing to play ball to get the deal done. So that leverage is a golden opportunity for buyers who's been waiting for that frenzy to die down. So I will say this again, this balanced market is your window. Yes, insurance is high, but the basic cost of housing in Brevard is still remarkably affordable compared to other major coastal areas in Florida. The average home value in Brevard County is currently around $337,000. In popular budget-friendly cities like Palm Bay, the median sales price is even lower, hovering around $315,000. Your dollar for housing simply stretches further here. It's like one city has a gallon of gas for $6 and Brevard County has it for $3.50. You're still buying the same product, a home near the coast, but your single biggest expense is substantially lower. Compare that to Naples or Miami, where a similar home will cost you 2 or even 3 times as much. For those on a tighter budget, towns like Mims and Malabar offer even more affordable options. Palm Bay is about 4.2% cheaper to live in overall than Melbourne. To put that in real numbers, if you needed a $50,000 salary to live comfortably in Melbourne, you need only $47,900 in Palm Bay to maintain the same exact lifestyle. Now, this pro is the why. This is the reason people are willing to navigate the financial minefield. Brevard County offers a quality of life that is truly unique. We have over 72 miles of beautiful, accessible coastlines. You can catch a wave at the world-class Sebastian Inlet in the morning, kayak through mangrove tunnels in the Indian River in the afternoon, and watch a rocket paint the sky from the local park in the evening. And this is all in one day. It's an absolute outdoor paradise, from the quiet natural shores of Playlanda Beach to the buzzing family-friendly vibe of Cocoa Beach. There's a stretch of sand for every mood. Boating and fishing aren't just hobbies here, they're a way of life for many. And let's not forget the space in Space Coast. Living here means you're on the front lines of human exploration. The sonic booms from returning boosters, the breathtaking sight of a Falcon Heavy lifting off, it never gets old. It injects a sense of wonder in your daily life that you simply can't find anywhere else. The lifestyle is the dream, but the job market is what makes it a reality. Brevard County is not just a beach town, it's an economic powerhouse. The job market here is the high-performance rocket engine that powers the entire community. This isn't a place where your career is limited to tourism or hospitality. It's so much more. We're home to the biggest names in aerospace, defense, and tech. If you don't believe me, we've got SpaceX, which is investing over $1.8 billion into Starship operations here. Then you also have Blue Origin, which already employs nearly 4,000 people in the county. Then there's L3 Harris, Northrop Grumman, Collins Aerospace, Lockheed Martin, and of course, NASA and the Kennedy Space Center. That's just a small list. These companies are creating thousands of high-paying, stable jobs that give families the financial foundation they need to thrive. This job market gives people that confidence to plant roots here, even with the challenges. So, we have expensive cons and incredible pros. How do you bridge that gap? You do it with a strategy. It's not about if you can afford it, it's about how you approach it. First, to handle the insurance crisis, you have to buy smart. A home's age and features are now just as important as the location. Think of it this way, buying a newer home with a modern roof and impact windows is like getting a physical and neat and healthy, and it also prevents expensive problems down the line. Buying an older, unupdated home is like ignoring your health. You're just waiting for a costly emergency. That's why when we search for properties, we filter for these features first. It can literally save you thousands of dollars a year. Second, to win as a buyer, you have to use your leverage. Get fully pre-approved for your mortgage before you even start looking. When you find the right home, don't be afraid to negotiate. Remember, you're always holding the good cards, so play them. Use the incentives from new construction as your benchmark, and asking for closing credits to help buy down some of your interest rate is absolutely normal. And here's the thing, it's an expected part of the game here in 2026. And finally, to avoid those HOA nightmares, do your homework. You wouldn't buy a used car without having a mechanic inspect the engine, right? So don't buy a condo without inspecting its financial engine. Ask for the condo or HOA's budget, their meeting minutes, and most importantly, their reserve study. This document reveals the health of their finances. If the seller or the association hesitates to provide these, that's a huge red flag. So you don't even have to waste your time, just pack up and leave. Living in Brevard County in 2026 is a study in contrast. The dream of watching rockets from your backyard is absolutely real. The lifestyle of beaches and sunshine is waiting for you. But the financial hurdles, especially insurance, cannot be ignored. So, is it worth it? I believe the answer is a resounding yes, but with one huge condition. You have to go in with your eyes wide open and a solid plan. The shift to a balanced market has created a rare window for opportunities for buyers. You have choices and negotiating power that hasn't existed in years. By focusing on the right kind of property and using that leverage, you can absorb the higher costs and secure your own piece of the Space Coast. Look, I get calls all the time from people who don't know where to even begin. I get it. It can feel overwhelming, and that's why my team and I are here. I live here. I was born and raised here. We work here. We help families navigate this exact landscape every single day. Listen, don't be crazy. If you are even thinking about moving to Brevard County, don't wait. The link to book a call with me is in the description below. Treat yourself. Please don't cheat yourself. And don't be afraid to talk about your goals, and let's build a strategy. We got your back. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.